Hello, and welcome to my spoken word channel. My name is Stephen Lackey, but like any other label, that name is simply a collection of letters that make sounds to convey meaning. A meaning which may have varying connotations for those who voice and or hear it. The spoken word is much the same, its effect ranging from dissonance to resonance, apathy to revulsion, sometimes even to the same person over time. I'll be reading some of my own work today, offering analysis of its meter, rhyme scheme, and content. If you find it appealing, heartening, or evocative, or even not worth remembering, please consider the aforementioned variability of response. Words, much the same as attitudes, friendships, and even the air we breathe, may teach us, transform us, or pass uninspiringly in this moment, but the next is yet to be defined. Herein are my copyrighted works, all rights reserved, but please forget the name and remember the message. Also, feel free to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Today's piece is called Real Boy. First, growing from mother, buoyed and bound, then carried, cheered, coddled, and cuddled. We belong to something. We are tended, maintained, monitored, managed, mollified, prompted, and pulled along. Guidance, they call it, though it tastes of coercion and feels like something worse. Must we be slaves to something? Can it ever just be nothing, free-floating, directionless, yet purposeful somehow? It might be better in a sense to choose your master than to submit, but beware the voice that suggests that possibility. Just because it is in your head does not mean that it is you. Don't disappoint, and you'll see how the incremental appeasement process wheedles and wends its way into your countenance. Habits upon habits until we are just a collection of programmed responses. Don't disappoint. And you won't have to feel what happens to those who refuse or accidentally misstep their rote compliance. You won't have to feel the pressure or heat or both. Don't disappoint. And you won't taste the wrath of the masters who've groomed you expertly, taught by their masters and theirs yet before. Don't disappoint. Don't. Just don't. Too much tugging, hands out of sight, cords drawn tight and bleeding me. Slowly ebbing will drains to the stage. I so want to be a real boy. Perhaps if I swung from my own rope, I'd finally be in charge or merely submitting to another master. At least, for once, I'll only be pulled in one direction. This is a free verse expression of unresolved childhood trauma. Each of the section's narrative styles reflects a different aspect of self-examination and or life stage, depending on how the listener interprets. The first section deals with philosophical aspects, considering alternatives and a warning that reflects the origin of the trauma. The second section serves as a series of mantras for the traumatized, coping strategies for those suffering at the hands of a narcissist. The third section reflects how it feels after so many years to be as a marionette, devoid of self-direction, guided by unseen hands, and contemplating a dissolution from phantom strings by choosing to cinch one's own. There are other choices, other possibilities, certainly, but these dark thoughts do drift through one's consciousness. The real trick is not burying or ignoring them as if they don't exist. The darkness is real, just as the reasons for its emergence, and it takes solid self-evaluation to confront and accept it, to move on knowing that it is part of you, and that it does not solely define you. Thank you for joining me today. I hope it has been some mix of enlightening, entertaining, and thought-provoking, and if not, well, perhaps another time. You could have spent it any number of ways, but I sincerely appreciate that you've chosen to spend this time listening to phrases I have turned. I'd like to hear your thoughts as well. Drop a comment below regarding what your own or someone else's creative writing and or spoken word has meant to you. Also, subscribe to my channel if you like. I'm not sure how often I'll be posting, but if you click the notification bell, you'll be among the first to know when I do. Please also consider this. You never know someone else's situation, but despite anything you may be dealing with, you can be a hand to hold, a smile to brighten, or a kind word for another. And there is no limit. You will never run out. Spend and spend and spend your love, and then spend some more, and then look at your still full purse. Such a beauty is love that when you realize finally that you are not spending, but sharing, when you realize all the lives that you touched and were thence touched in turn, you'll have never felt so full with still more to share. And that can start today. Embody the strength. Find a voice. Be heard.